Mataio and Ty. And before I let you guys talk, I just want to let you guys know, the audience out there, that these two, Mataio, they were one of our first customers. And it was so incredibly special to me when they reached out. And it's so incredible for me now to be able to just have you on the show to be able to share your story.
Thank you. Thank you, Billy, for having us here. Hello, everybody. Hello.
So, I mean, you guys, there's so much we can talk about. I mean, it was funny. I was looking through my emails and trying to figure out when our paths first crossed. It was in April of 2018. And it was originally over email. And then we also had the awesome opportunity to get together and actually have dinner together when I was down in the Bay Area visiting Nordstrom. So again, there's so much we can talk about, but I want to kind of give you the floor right now, because your story is incredibly powerful. It's both family dynamic. It's both as an individual. It's a sense of overcoming. It's a sense of, power and struggle and just embracing life. So I just want to give you the opportunity to share.
Okay, so hi. So I guess we were looking for. So in the beginning, when we found Billy, I had these AFOs braces, and I was looking for shoes that would fit the AFOs, because a lot of the shoes, they were really tight, and it was hard for me to tie my shoes, and I felt kind of dependent, and I didn't like that feeling. And then we found Billy's, and it all went pretty well. So the reason I was looking for AFOs, I have this special disease known as Osteogenesis Imperfecta Brittle Bone Disease, aka Brittle Bone Disease. So Brittle Bone Disease is created when your collagen cells, the two cells that create your collagen cells, they're rather defective, or you just don't have them. So collagen is kind of what makes your bones hard. Yeah, I guess
it's like the layer on the outside that absorbs all the impact. Mataio's collagen is defective, so there's nothing there to absorb impact.
I've broken up about, I think, exactly 100 bones in my life.
12 years, huh, man?
Yes. And I actually have a few scars to prove that. I have one right here, which was for a surgery that I had to have for my elbow when I actually just broke it recently.
March 27th.
The edge of my elbow was kind of popped off, and they had to put in wires that would keep it on my elbow, so that it could kind of reconnect. And here's the scar to prove it. In fact, the wires are still there. I'm actually getting them removed on Monday.
On Monday, yes.
Next Monday.
So Mataio, I mean, I saw that. I remember seeing a post on Facebook of you wearing that brace, and it was a pretty impressive brace. I mean, it was pretty big, to the point where if you took a swing at me, oh man, you would have.
Yeah.
It was quite
like
the
Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
have your other elbow.
I've actually had quite a few. Yeah, I've had a lot of breaks. I only remember a few. I kind of call them the big ones, because they were kind of the highlights. One of them is on actually the other elbow. They also piled up on the wires. I actually shattered my left elbow from playing outside. It was in kindergarten, actually, and I shattered my left elbow, and the whole thing kind of went backwards.
He was twisted like a candy cane. You know, like how the colors go like this. I remember lifting him, and his arm was just hanging. It was
all a blur. I barely remember any of it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I've also had quite a few others. I've broken my skull twice. There was when I broke it, there was a huge crack all the way from here to this side,
from ear to ear.
So, Mataio, I mean, when you have those types of fractures, I mean, how how long does it take for the body to heal? I mean, for example, let's start with the elbow. I mean, when was that surgery originally?
March 27th.
Okay.
And he's actually doing really well. He has, there you go. Let's see, where do I show you? There's the wires.
Oh, there it is. Oh, got it. Yep. Wow.
Yeah. And so he's growing candy canes in his elbow. We have to make funny things.
Yeah. Well,
light of things like that.
Right. Wow.
So actually he does really well with his recovery. But we're just checking on him constantly. He goes to the doctors all the time. They're calling in, making sure everything is okay. And then unfortunately he has to be like lay low, no activities. Normally he doesn't do a lot of activities anyways, but once he's fractured, he doesn't do any at all. We minimize walking. Everything around the house has to be like trip proof. We say trip proof, where he can't trip over things, so
usually the first few days I just rather sit on the couch or lay in my bed the whole day.
Yeah.
Also, something really weird that I still can't actually explain. I think it might have something to do with my disease. When I break bones, I actually heal faster than the normal person. With my elbow, I think with my left arm, how long did it take to heal?
They had said that he wasn't going to be able to move his arm. He wasn't going to have full range of motion, and it would take over a year for him, if anything, to be able to even bend it to close to what it was before. But like within 6 months, he had full range of motion. Actually, he was even a little bit more, so he hyperextends. So I think a lot has to do is that we have a lot of people that are always helping us, and physical therapy. Our physical therapists are always checking in on Mataio, and shout out to Elisa and Harry. We love you guys. So they're always there for us. So I think that because we have all of them, it helps with his recovery and shortens his recovery, period.
Right. I mean, that kind of stuff. I mean, just to take pause here, that kind of stuff it warms my heart so much. I mean, that power of association and that ability to be able to surround yourself in a culture that's a positive one, right? I mean, it doesn't remove the struggle, but it becomes more of a collective group to get through the struggle. Right. And I just want to highlight that. I mean, that's one of the many things that just warms my heart through and through about your guys' story.
We, through all of this, meeting so many people, we realize that we're not the only ones. Mataio's not the only one that's going through a tough time. Like even his physical therapists sometimes have their joints or arms or back. My side of the family as well. Just that open communication. Do you realize that you're not the only one that's suffering, and you can like lean on to other people, and they'll help you out too. And it's just being able to have that soundboard, back and forth, and feeling and knowing that you're not the only one. Right.
Actually, Osteogenesis Imperfecta has been in my family for quite a bit.
Yes.
Mostly my mom. On my mom's side. I remember. So maybe like 7 of my cousins that I know of have Osteogenesis Imperfecta, and my uncle also has Osteogenesis, and my grandpa also had osteogenesis. We've all had quite a few breaks. You're 60?
60.
Yeah.
But I'm like up there. I'm up there. So he's only 12, and he's had 100. So I mean, his outlook on life.
It's not a contest, man.
It's not a contest. I don't want him to win.
I still don't know whether I should take it as a achievement or as a not.
Right. It's an achievement because you roll with it, man.
Yeah. There's different types of osteogenesis imperfecta. Type 1 is the type I have. It's mostly normal. It just has the, main kind of effects on people break easily. Type 2 is
more. It's lethal. You don't really make it. It's the first couple of days, and it's a hard one.
It's the worst type of.
But there's 8, or actually there's a lot more. Over the years they found a lot more. They have a lot more types.
There's 4 main types. Number 3, I'm pretty sure, has actual physical deformities.
Like you see it elbows and legs and.
Type 4 is kind of mental, I guess.
No, you can see it in their eyes and their features. More in the the face. But there's just so many, so many. So. Wow. But Mataio being a type 1, he is severe though. So I guess after a certain amount of breaks, they consider it severe. So he is considered severe.
Got it.
And because of that, well, actually, when he was 4, and he fractured his skull, they had offered to the doctors had told us that he was a candidate for biphosphonate infusions. But at the time, the side effects, we were terrified because one of them was, we could possibly lose our son if he had an allergic reaction to it. So we were terrified and we decided not to. We were just going to be extra careful. But then the breaks continued to accumulate. And when he was in 4th grade, right? Well, he continued to break throughout elementary, but in 4th grade, he broke his femur.
Oh, that was my worst break because, I broke my femur. It's the hardest bone to break.
Yes, and he broke it in the femoral head, right? So the blood, they were worried about the blood circulating, and if not enough circulation was happening, he was going to have a hip replacement. So we had to have emergency surgery, and that was crazy. It was a whirlwind. And then from there, he had to be seated, and he was in a wheelchair for a little less than a year, right? Yeah, and for recovery. But then he started fracturing vertebrae to the point at when he was out of the wheelchair and we took him in for a scan for his back. He had compressed all 33 vertebrae.
Actually shrunk. I didn't even know that was possible.
But
Wow. So Mataio, let me ask you. So, with all these fractures that are being described, and I know that you're talking about the healing. You heal from those fractures, and then there's also like the physical activity. When it comes to, and I'm sure that when the fracture occurs, there's got to be just excruciating pain. I'm just curious to know if, like right now, when things are like kind of like when you find that baseline of like normal, whatever that is there like a standing pain, or is it a matter of like, how does that work? Can you put that into words?
Do you have pain every day?
Yeah. I have a lot of arthritis. Usually most days I wake up, I'm in pain. Like I need Benadryl or medicine.
Not Benadryl, Tylenol.
Oh, yeah.
Benadryl's for your allergies.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're mixing them up. Yeah.
But the part that I think that there's so many elements of your story that I just draw so much strength from, and I think that like one of the many examples is like the understanding that you're waking up, unfortunately you're waking up to pain, but that's not, you're not taking it as an excuse to not wake up, right? You're taking an excuse to an opportunity to get up and make the most of the day. And I don't know, can you talk to that a little bit? That's something that I really draw a lot of strength from your story.
He likes being around people.
I said it for you.
Yeah, I think he's getting choked up. He likes being around people, so I think he loves being at school. That's a big plus for him. School is everything to him. He loves being around his classmates and his teachers. So there'll be days where I will have to put my foot down because he's in way too much pain, and I'm like, no, we're staying home, right, Mataio?
Mm-hmm. But
he will fight me. He will fight. No, Mom, I'm going to school. Mom, I'm gonna make it through first period, right? or he's worried about falling behind in class. He doesn't want to, or he wants to be there for his other classmates. He wants to help them, or he has group projects. And I think that's what motivates him, because he wants to be part of that.
Right.
You know, he wants to be with everybody else.
I've actually made this kind of philosophy.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Every time I've broken a bone, I realized, wait a second, this could have been like worse. Like this could be way worse. And then I realized I need to I think I just realized every day could actually be my last.
Mm.
So yeah, I could just not wake up. So yeah, I just realized I have to live every day to the fullest.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, Mataio, that is so well said, and that's definitely a nugget that can transcend everyone on this planet. I mean, that's really, those are simple words, but incredibly powerful and big ones. You know, before this call, I mean, you're just telling me, you kind of gave me a tour of your room and showing me just all the awesome stuff that you have on the wall, and you know, all your books, and I mean, just like the colors and just like the Legos and the piano, and I mean, just so many things that are just that creative nature. Oh yeah, here we go. Just a quick like on the pan right there.
That's
and then you're also telling me about you're going to be one of the speakers for the 6th graders coming into school next year. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I don't know, that adding value. I mean, I don't know. Have you thought about what you want to say? I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
What do you want to tell your the 6th graders that are coming into middle school?
Well, I mean, hello to virtual middle school. I hope you have a great time here, and I hope you learn a lot, and I hope you get prepared for virtual 7th grade and 8th grade during your time here. I hope you learn the basics of everything, of just
being a 6th grader.
Yeah. And I hope you kind of get to make friends and kind of, you know, show your own skills here, I guess. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Stuff in mind. Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So, I mean, as I said, like leading up to this, there's so many things that we can talk about. And I mean, I know we went rather deep in that area. I just remember when, Ty, when you first reached out, it was, I can't remember exactly how we got introduced to you guys, but it was really right when our brand had first hit the shelves. I mean, that was soon after we were on the shelves of Nordstrom, soon after we had launched with Zappos, and we were just starting to get out there. And I remember you reached out, and your email just touched me, like just touched my soul. I mean, it really was, because the comment was talking about just Mataio being able to put his shoes on by himself and just be able to take on that independence. And the other part of that was not being in pain.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I don't know. It was just really big. It just really was big. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, all I could relate it to, I suppose, was like my own testimony, like being able to put my shoes on again for the first time, and it being so special and wanting to share that. And then all of a sudden being able to, you know, team with the right people to build that association and build that culture, to be able to, you know, build up a brand, to be able to share that. And then to have a testimony such as yours to come out of the gate so early in the game. I mean, it gave me so much strength, and it just motivated our team to be able to, you know, maintain the path and keep pushing forward. So
that's what I wanted. I wanted you guys to continue, because I remember when Mataio broke his femur, and then they told us that he was going to have difficulty walking because of his flat feet, and he would need AFOs, and he was having trouble with his knees and just all these issues. So when we did get him AFOs, we couldn't find any shoes, and we had to upsize to, like, at the time he was like a size, I don't know, 1, and he was wearing size 3 shoes, and you know, he was tripping all over the place, and it was really, really hard. So I went online, and I kept on looking for shoes, and I was ordering they must have hated me, because I was ordering all these other shoes and returning everything, you know. And lo and behold, I find BILLY Footwear, and I order a pair of shoes. I was like measuring my son's foot and the AFO, and I figured, okay, well, this is the size I'm going to order. And guess what? I didn't have to return them. They were perfect. in every time Christmas came, he would write on his Christmas list, BILLY Footwear shoes, birthdays, that's his request. So, and when I realized that I could only get your shoes online, I wanted to I wanted you to know that your brand was so important to us, and maybe we could get it into a store, because other children or other parents would be able to take their children there and actually try the shoes on and stuff like that. That I was huge. So I emailed you and I was like, I just want you to know how grateful I am that we found your shoes, because my little guy is super independent and he wants to put on his shoes, and he hates that I have to help him put on his shoes. We had to pretty much unlace all the shoes, regular shoes every single day, and then lace them up again just to fit his AFOs in. And I would have to walk with him right next to him, because to avoid from him falling, tripping over things and stuff like that. Like, he was always tripping over his feet, but it didn't happen once we got your shoes.
Oh man!
And he was smiled from ear to ear. As a matter of, he just got his new pair size, because he's bigger now.
Oh yeah, there it is.
He's got them in gray too. So it's just heaven sent. We lucked out.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's so awesome, because that was over 2 years ago, and to be able to stay connected with you and your family, it's been wonderful. And I mean, so here's another one. I mean, this kind of came to mind this morning, like driving in. You reached out by a messenger not too long ago, all of a sudden spotting our brand on Netflix.
Yes.
Like, wait, what are you talking about? I didn't even realize that. So
yeah.
I don't even remember what the show was.
What was the show that I like?
Rosalind? Is that what it is?
Yes, Roswell. So I'm watching.
Yeah.
I was watching Roswell, and then all of a sudden I see this little boy in a cave, and he's wearing all white, and he has the white high top BILLY Footwear shoes, and I was like, oh my gosh, those are BILLY Footwear, and I kept on rewinding, and then I took a picture and I sent it to you. I was like, look what you're doing.
Yeah. I think the part that blew me away was one, getting that, going, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I don't quite know how that product placement even happened. But then the other part was
like, yes!
Yeah, right. But I hadn't seen the show, so then all of a sudden I started watching the show, and that particular scene is kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Well, it's not a show for kids, but anyway.
But yeah, that was pretty awesome.
But it was really awesome, and then Mataio was really excited too. Mm-hmm. So
cool.
It's been good. You guys have saved us.
Well, it's the relationships we have with the customers that have allowed us to grow. So, like conversations like this, times I don't even know how many. But it's really like you build up. You want to build everybody up, and by trying to add value to as many people as you can, the word keeps getting out, and it's incredible. What can happen, really. You get everyone in the line, and it's amazing what things can be accomplished. So, I mean, so typically these shows that we have right now run about 30 minutes. We're in the last 5 minutes. So I just really thank you for your time. I thank you for being able to, be open to sharing. I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to receive a tremendous amount of value from your guys' story.
Thank you.
Because, I mean, life's hard. I mean, it is. I mean, we're all on our own journey. But it's just a matter of, I mean, to put a simpler version in your words, Mataio, it's like just, do the best we can, like wake up and make the most of the day. So I think I think we can all draw strength from that for sure. So before I kind of sign things off, I mean, are there any final words you guys want to say?
You got it. The floor's yours, man.
Okay, so I realized there were a lot of people with other hardships other than my own, and I just I hope you can be strong, I guess.
To reach out.
Yeah, every day is gonna be hard, probably, unless you have. I mean, I hope that every day isn't hard, but it probably is. But gotta be strong, because there's always just gonna be that one thing that's just gonna make it up, and that's just gonna make up for all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that interesting? The struggle makes the victory all the more beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. Amen.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. There's gonna be, he always tells me, like one time when he was when when he fractured his skull and the first time. And we were leaving the hospital. Oh, his roommate was a baby, less than a year old, and he had a tumor. And he was never going to leave the hospital. And when we were leaving the hospital, Mataio said, and I remember this like it was yesterday, he said, "Mom, I'm lucky." And I'm thinking, we just went through something crazy. But, he's telling me, "Mommy, I'm really lucky." And this is a 4-year-old Taio looking at me, huge eyes, lots of hair. And he's all, "I get to go home."
Yeah.
But the kids on this floor are not going to go home. Most of the children are not going to go home. And I knew then that, this kid's stronger than I am. He's way stronger.
Oh man, you're a being of strength, Mataio. Love it. Absolutely love it. Keep it up, bro. Keep it up.
Thank you, Billy.
Yeah, our pleasure, man. That's my sincere pleasure. So everyone out there, I mean, thank you so much for chiming in. This was episode 3. We'll have an episode next week as well. Same time, next Wednesday. And the guest next week is going to be one of our retail partners up in Canada. So it'll be fun to hear their story, how their company came to be, and our collaboration partnership. So thank you, everyone. Mataio, I'm going to give you a high five. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Bye. Thank you. Bye, Billy.